Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your September 16th to the 30th, 2020 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in the cards that I am using, they are all linked in the description box below. Now, before we dive into this reading, let's clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from your body like storm clouds. Feeling yourself become calm, steady, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Just going to let this sing as we do so. Libra, September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. And let's see your chakra energy for this time. Ooh, I have a bit of the hiccup, so I do apologize. Libra, September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. These four. So we have here family, which is the root chakra. And family is going to be at the root for you during this time. Your family, the family that you have chosen, it doesn't have to be the family that you were born into or the family you were raised by. It is the family of your choosing. It is love, it is compassion, it is understanding, it is commitment, and it is being connected. And this is where you're really kind of embracing what is truly important to you. And you're going to see how this affects, how your roots affect the way that you're moving forward and affect what you are seeing, especially during this time. Because there's going to be a certain way things are colored, a certain way that you're seeing things that is very interesting. Spiritual awakening, because you're having the spiritual awakening and it's going to be speaking to you in a different way than it speaks to other people. A spiritual awakening is, it's your crown chakra here, and it is opening your mind, your body, your soul to so much more that the world has to offer, so much more than you expected. And as you are doing so, when I see the spiritual awakening with the crown chakra, Spirit is saying, what crown are you wearing? What crown is guiding you? What type of ruler are you over your life, your soul, and yourself? Is your crown beautiful? Is it woven of golden light? Or is it menacing? Is it angry? Is it storm clouds and thistles? So here it is that question for you. It's like, what is your crown? What are your thoughts? What is it that you are looking at and you are focusing on? And the things that you are focusing on right here, because you are in this spiritual awakening, they can come out kind of like a dog with a bone, right? They can come out with something that you keep on, looking at. You keep on looking at it this way and that way, and, really just going after a certain idea, a certain thought, because there's something there that you aren't seeing. There's something there that is moving you forward in a very profound way. And it's kind of like you're looking for that secret. Sometimes we just have to step back and say, divinity will bring it, and it will. And it's not in our time, it's in divine time, which is always so annoying. I get so frustrated with that, and yet I know it to be true. So here, it's saying, as you are awakening, as you are rooting yourself to what's truly important, as you are thinking of maybe starting your own family or embracing, the family of your creation and what's truly important to your soul, you are going to see that things are changing for you. What you're looking at and what was once super important isn't quite as important as it was before. This leads you to divine wisdom. Divinity is guiding you. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above your crown. And this is divinity pouring down wisdom over you. And it is going to be in the most profound and sometimes odd ways that you see this wisdom, you see this beauty, you see this power over you and guiding you forward. And then it brings you to self-mastery. Now, this is the solar plexus chakra. And this is saying that you'll have a lot of gut reactions to things also, okay? Just to let you know, Libra, your body is really going to speak to you, especially your gut, when you eat something, you drink something that it does not like. So this is mastery of the self. This is your body letting you know when you've been a little bit too indulgent or when it doesn't like something. Even just the energy in the room. You might sit there and feel like, oh, wow, my stomach aches just a bit. And this will be the reason why. Because you are having mastery over yourself, and your body, your soul is speaking to you in a very interesting way. And it's going to be a way where you sit there and you're like, well, that's not normal. But because so many people ignore their instincts, ignore the way spirit speaks to them, the way their body, their intuition speaks to them, it might very well be normal. And just everybody ignores it, takes some, antacid and just moves on. So here, it's like really listen to yourself. Really listen to yourself as you're mastering, as you are becoming an expert on you and what you want from your life. Ooh. Now the left-hand side, there we go. The left-hand side is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. And the right-hand side is your public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the 4 of coins. Now this is my vampiric energy, so you can be feeling a bit drained. And for some of you, you have been feeling a bit drained, like operating on half battery for quite some time. We have the 9 of wands, okay, doubts and fears and not listening to everyone else. The 8 of coins, your hard work really does pay off. It really does. It's been hard. It's, it's been hurtful. A lot of what you've had to do, not in a bad way, but in a way where it's kind of like, yeah, and I'll go into this more when we go over each card, but it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, here I am again, and it's been a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of discipline right here. And then you have the Hermit, so you have the repeat of the number 9. You're coming very close to a completion of a cycle. And this is a very spiritual, very kind of private time where you turn in and you embrace that inward knowledge, that inward motion. This then leads you to the King of Swords at your heart. Now, the King of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, is of course you, being a king, mastering, understanding, ruling, and defining. You are also going to be a little bit blunt when it comes to things. So just be mindful of your words, especially when it comes from your heart. You're going to be like, well, this is how I feel, or this is how it is, and just kind of give it to people straight, and they might not be ready for that type of honesty. We then have the High Priestess right here. This is a sense of, there we go. This is a sense of the veil being lifted from your eyes, of being guided towards something more. You're not seeing people's masks anymore, and you're not being fooled by the masks that people wear. This leads you to the Four of Wands. You now have the repeat of the number 4, which is saying be mindful of yourself, your soul, your body. All right? Your home is going to be very important. The Four of Wands is a celebration that cannot be ignored. It's a beauty. It's a coming together. It can be also, new job opportunities, moving house, a deepening of relationships. And this is what you've been working really hard towards, this success. And it leads you to the Ace of Cups. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift, a loving, healing gift that cleanses your soul, that speaks to yourself. It can also make you a little bit more emotional during this time than you might feel comfortable being, all right? But it's going to be worth it. It might make you also a little bit more teary. It's like things touch you more deeply than they normally would. The moon right here. This is Pisces energy, a time frame of February 19th to March 20th. This is facing fears. In the public arena, you are facing fears. You are moving yourself forward in a very profound way. The Hanged Man, you see things very differently than other people as you face these fears. It leads you to strength. Oh my gosh, you have all major arcana cards here. This is a Leo energy, a time frame of July 23rd to August 22nd. You're going to see that strength comes through kindness, caring, compassion, and not just through brute force. It is also a sense of willpower and determination. And then it leads you to the Lovers. Now, this is a Gemini energy, a time frame of May 21st to June 20th. But this is a sense of love coming in, a balancing of two really distinct powers of self, okay? And this is a duality of intention and purpose. So you're crowned here with heavy hitters. I mean, you have this vampiric energy coming in. You are a king. You are ruling over your domain of what you want, and you are facing fears. At your roots, you're turning inward. Okay, you're having blessings come in. You're also having healing come in that can make you a bit more sensitive, a bit more kind of emotionally in tuned, empathic. And then you have the Lovers come, where there is a balance, there is a love, there is a beauty, there is an understanding that moves you more profoundly and more beautifully towards where it is that you want to be. And also lets you know, just as you are represented by the scales, right? In your depiction by the Justice with the scales, right? In the tarot, you are balancing the nature of your love and what you need and the duality of yourself, and not seeing it as a bad thing, but seeing it as quite a necessary thing. So let's see the people you are to be mindful of during this time. Libra, September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. Who's going to be aiding Libra during this time? I don't know if I said mindful, but we're going to do that later. Who's going to be aiding Libra during this time? Who's going to be aiding Libra during this time? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. These three. And this is going to be the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is somebody who can make connections that you might be missing. This is somebody who sees things differently, profoundly, and a bit powerfully. This is somebody who rules their domain. They might not feel as if they can move as freely as they want to. It can be, of course, because of the times that we are in, but it can also be because of the responsibilities that they have. That's something you're going to be able to relate to, because you have the King of Swords right here, and kings do not feel as if they can move as freely as queens can. Think of a chessboard. Kings are more restricted in their movements than the queens are. Here, with the way that you're moving forward and what it is that you desire, this person makes connections that you need. Now, these people who aid you, and also later on when we see the people you are to be mindful of, these do not have to be people who you know in real life. They can inspire you and guide you in a myriad of different ways. The main way you will know this person is that they have a grounding resonance with you. They kind of make you feel more calm, more at ease, but they let you look at your prosperity and the way that you're moving forward in your power, in the elemental power of yourself. Because the pentacles with the star, with the circle around it, are the elements, right? And they're the elements, and then they are the connection of man, the connection of spirit, the connection of the ether, depending on how you want to see it, of the way things move forward. But it's you connecting with them. And it is the points that a human being, of course, makes if you kind of spread yourself out to make a snow angel, make when you are looking at things and the connection to you with the earth. So here, it is going to be rather profound, is what Spirit is saying to me, and the impact that this person has is rather deep. They also have this kind of wise elder mentality to them. They might be a very young person, but they have this wise elder mentality, feeling to their soul, to the wisdom that they bring, and to the way that they help you to move forward. This then leads you to the Hermit. You have the Hermit coming in a very positive role within this reading, and now you have the Hermit coming in as a guide here for you. This is a Virgo energy, August 23rd to September 22nd, and this is being guided by the light of the stars, being guided by the highest form of man's perfection and what we desire. And so as we are being guided, you are going to see things in a different light. You're also going to find that this person is, you might actually define them as being just a little bit secretive. They don't let a lot of things out about themselves. They are very, very quiet in a world where everything is chaotic and faster, 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 faster. They have a much slower, much calmer, much more peaceful cadence to their existence, resonance to their soul. And this is the way that they're going to help you move forward. They're going to help you connect and be grounded with where you need to be within your life at this time and the way that you need to move forward. This then leads you to the Death card, which is a Scorpio energy, October 23rd to November 21st. This energy has kind of the same feel around it as the Virgo energy, where you're going to see this person and what they have to offer as a bit of a mystery. They're not going to be as kind of mainstream as other people are. This person is going to be very comfortable in between things. You know, it's kind of like they live half in dream, half in reality. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this was an artist that you are going to be very inspired by. This is a person who sees things in shades, right? And not the stark, harshness of white page, black print. It's kind of like, or just like really of colors upon a page without any blending, without any shadowing. Okay, really harsh kind of line work. That isn't what they're into. There is more of a gentleness and a gentility to this person. This person can be a little bit stinging, because all Scorpios can be, but there is a sense of them seeing into dreams more openly and more honestly than others, and being more open and honest than you would expect. This then leads you to the vampiric energy that is around you, the Four of Coins. You're protecting your prosperity, your bounty, and the way that you move forward. I am not sure the myth behind this card, but what I love about this deck is every single card, every single set, there are 78 cards, has a different lore behind them. And so here we have this vulture. And when I see the vulture, I think very much so of the spirit animal, vulture, which says nothing is wasted. And so the energy that you have been battling against, the prosperity that you have been battling for, the hardships, the pains, the disappointments that you have been through, you're going to think, why? Why? And for some of you, you're going to feel robbed. You really are. It's going to be like, why did you take away time from me that should have been joyous, that should have been prosperous, that should have been bountiful? Nothing is wasted, and none of your time was wasted. My mother always says, you either pay now or you pay later. And so here, it is kind of like that payment being made. And what you're seeing, and you might feel like, my gosh, my whole life has been a payment. But what you're seeing now is that you're going to be very able, Libra, to distinguish the toxicity, the toxic relationships from relationships that add, and from energy that adds to you. And so here, you're kind of calling out the world on its BS. You really are. And you're calling out yourself on buying into that BS, which can lead you to be rather harsh on yourself. So do be mindful of that. Visualize yourself surrounded by the golden light of spirit. Now, this is what I like to do. And see your angels cutting through that golden light. And for a few heartbeats, there is just nothing. There's just nothing but endless expanse of darkness, of universe, of creative power around you. And then the golden light comes back. You're protected once again and in the middle of the universe. Because for you, in your life, you are the middle of your universe. You are the center of your universe. And it's not in an egotistical, kind of maniacal or childlike way. It is simply the truth. You only know your existence. And so here, as you are moving forward in your truth, in your honor, in your power, in your understanding. And you're seeing the people who drain. And you're seeing the people who take away. And you're like, no more. No more am I putting up with this. The reason why we sever the golden energy and then have it come back is because it takes away that sewer sludge that is around us, that we accumulate. The energy that as we see ourselves kind of purging ourselves and connecting with silence, okay, it has us kind of re-empowered to stand in the chaos of this world and stand in the volume of everybody's voices and everybody's demands. Because for you, Libra, you will gladly sacrifice yourself to be able to keep the balance, to be able to keep the peace. And here, it's like no more are you looking at the outside world, at the chaos, at the temptations. Because here, she has the skulls, but she has, Baba Yaga's cottage right in the back. And Baba Yaga cooks little girls that come, or anybody really, but in the stories, it's traditionally little girls that come. And so here, what you are looking at is you're looking at the nightmares that lie ahead. And you're looking at the anger and the hurts and the pains and the disappointments that other people have. And this is saying it's time to stay true to yourself. It's time to say no to what everybody else demands and say yes to you. To know that you are on the right path and that the battles that you have been fighting in order to get you here, in order to move this far forward, are astounding, are beautiful, and are poetic within yourself. And they've added a level of strength. They've added a level of determination that is living poetry and grace. And you might say, well, what the heck is the point of that? Well, if you believe, as I like to do, because I think it's a bit of whimsy and just beautiful, if you believe that our lives are stories unfolding, and as our stories are unfolding, if you have a story that just plots along and there's no depth to it, there's no emotion to it, there's no, connection, then the tale isn't very interesting. And so our tales are interesting because of the plot shifts, because of the depth of emotion, because of the caring, the understanding that comes. And this is saying here, the rest of the world will try to drown out your voice. Don't let them. Stand in your truth, know your power, know your understanding, because you've worked too hard. And you have the countdown from 9 to 8 right here. And then you have 8 to 9 once again. You've worked too hard. And here, she is weaving nettles and briars into pentacles to save her brothers from being swans. And so here, it is a task that is painful, it is hurtful, it is overwhelming. She has her feet scarred in red and her hands scarred in red, and there are angry tears coming down her face. And I think we can all relate to that. As we are creating the lives that we want, it's so much harder than we ever thought it would be. It's kind of like that saying, it's like, if I knew it was going to be that hard, I wouldn't have done it. And that's part of life. It's like it's always harder than we think it is going to be. Even if we are super prepared, it's always harder than we think it's going to be. And here, it's working with that pain, with that hardship, with that disappointment, with that anger. And it's still creating something beautiful because we know our end goal. We know what we desire. And the 8 of Pentacles is us moving towards that end goal, that passion, that beauty, and that truth. And it leads us to the Hermit. It leads us to turning inward. Okay? And here, okay, you have the coins, right? Virgo energy is earth sign energy. This is going to be very powerful for you, Libra, especially if you are born on the cusp of Virgo, right? So here, as you turn inward, you are led by this white stag. You see this white stag of inspiration, of spiritual awakening, of power, of truth, but you are also guided in the silence and in the twilight. And within the silvery light of the moon or the luminescence of the stars. And it's not going to be a harsh reality for what you are looking for, the noise, the chaos, the chatter of the day. You're going to find that you are much more suited during this time to the silent serenity of the night, or at least the peaceful cadence of the night's song, what the night has to offer you. And as you turn inward, you see things more openly and more honestly for yourself. And as you turn inward, you turn towards you, where you want to be, where you need to be, and what it is that you truly desire. And that's going to be astoundingly freeing. It's like everything else gets to stop, gets to calm down as you center. And as you center, you become a king of your heart. This is your mind and your heart coming together. And why is that important? Well, I very much believe that we are emotional beings. And as emotional beings, we have to listen to our hearts and what our emotions say to us. And it is so easy for us to sit there and say, well, I'm really being nonsensical. I'm, making mountains out of molehills, and I'm being too emotional. Or we sit there and we just let our emotions run rampant, and then we are being too emotional because chaos erupts from us. This is a balance between your mind and your heart, okay? Because if you're too logical, you're cold and you're distant and you don't connect with people. But if you're in the middle, there's a beauty to you. There's a calmness to you. There's a serenity, a power, and a brilliance. And here, as the King of Swords, this is the warrior king. So Libra, as much as you are the peacekeeper and the justice, you have the ability to be a warrior. And that's something that you need to let out just a little bit more. That warrior mentality, to have the balance, to have the joy. And do note, because Spirit just said to me, it could be like a tax collector, which means that it can be, justice can kind of take over as you are being a warrior. And things become too logical. Things become too cold, and losing that human aspect. You need things to be in the middle. And as things are in the middle, there is a sense of true power that comes from you. You have a way with words during this time, a way with your thoughts, a way with your emotions, a way with what you are connecting and how you are connecting to this world. And as you embolden yourself, and as you move yourself forward, and as you embrace what you truly desire, there is this power that is absolutely gorgeous that you step into. Now, it will mean that you don't feel as quote unquote free as you once did, but it wasn't freedom before. Okay? This is kind of a centering of responsibilities. It is a balancing of self. It is a knowing. And as you have this knowing come, there is a power that is around you. There is a beauty that is becoming you. And though you can't kind of move like the wind, and as an air sign energy, you like that, but you can every now and then. But you're going to be grounded more in your responsibilities, in your power, in the ruling ability of your heart, your soul, and yourself to move you ahead. And that's going to be really quite beautiful. It leads you to the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is lifting back the veil. It is seeing things so much more clearly, so much more openly, so much more honestly. And as you see things openly, honestly, and clearly, you embrace the truth. Now, the High Priestess I always think of as the Oracle of Delphi. And the Oracle of Delphi, people came from all over the ancient world to hear her. And you can sit there and say, well, they didn't know better. But there was credence. There was credence to what she said because people followed it. And I mean, that's where power comes from, right? And so here, because people believe. And so here, there is this sense of being spoken to and of truly gaining an understanding and a connection between you and spirit, between you and divinity. Your angels are talking to you. They are guiding you. And it can be very overwhelming to listen. And it's not something that our world really sits there and says, oh, good job. You're talking to your angels. They sit there and go, oh, okay. That's kind of crazy. But there is a sense of embracing this spiritual side. There's a sense of also knowing that divinity speaks in riddles, which people would say, okay, well, that makes it really easy. You have to decode to be able to understand. But isn't that life in and of itself? You have to be able to decode what you want, what you desire, how you fit in, to be able to understand the path that you are leading and the path that you are living. The High Priestess is not worried about the outside world. Actually, I love the pairing of the high priestess with the hermit. And this can be, the high priestess can be paired with two cards. She can be paired with the magician, but she can also be paired, of course, now here with the hermit. I like the pairing with the hermit because they understand each other just a little bit better. So this is a soulmate connection. This is a true love connection. This is all very spiritual. This is all very centered. And as you have this soulmate connection, this true love connection, as you have this coming forward, it doesn't mean that it has to be romantic. Okay, a soulmate, I don't always see soulmates as romantic partners. I see them as people we connect with, as people that we've known from past lives, that help empower us, that help us move forward, that help us to see things more beautifully and more honestly. And so this card also pulls us inward. The high priestess pulls us inward to the light. And you're going to find that you cannot live with the shadows around yourself, right? You need to see things in their truth. And it doesn't mean that you need to get rid of, there we go, the shadows. It means that you need to be able to see by quiet luminescence. And that quiet luminescence is of your heart's truth. There is no more wearing of a mask. There is no more, doubting. Well, not no more doubting, but there is an understanding to the doubt and to the fear that you have, and kind of being able to call yourself out for it. And it leads you to a celebration. It leads you to a beauty that moves you forward. It leads you to seeing your hard work being guided. And here, it lets you see the power of your voice and your truth, and lets you also understand that if everybody was moving in their happiness and in their joy, we'd see a lot more elated people. We'd see a lot more joy and serenity within this world, which is something I feel we are greatly lacking. And so here with the Four of Wands, there is a sense of beauty coming forward. There is a sense of love guiding us. There is a sense of power being a part of us. And as this moves us forward, we are celebrating. We are celebrating a commitment as powerful as a marriage. So it can be a commitment to ourselves, a marriage to ourselves, to our dreams, to our hopes, to our wishes, to our desires. It can be a commitment to our careers, to our families, to our friends, to what we really value within our lives. And as things become deeper, relationships become deeper, as we feel like we know ourselves better, then we can start to branch out, and we can see how this affects us in our careers. We can see how this affects us in our homes, and what we're putting up with and what we're not putting up with within our lives. And this leads us to making changes. The Four of Wands leads us to a place of celebration, of change, of beauty, of power. And this can lead to new job opportunities. This can lead to new home opportunities. This can lead to a myriad of newness coming into your life because you are calling it forward, because you're sitting there and saying, I am worthy of this. And you're embracing your life in a profoundly beautiful way. This leads to the Ace of Cups, to God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of love, of caring, of compassion, of waters that wash through, of cleansing and stabilizing yourself, of hurts being vanquished. But also, it's not that they're vanquished forever, but it's also, and Spirit had me say vanquish, which is like banquet and vanquish coming together. But it's almost having a banquet of beautiful healing energy around you and just soaking it in. And it purges from every pore in your body the negativity that you've been holding. And if you can just visualize that, just visualize yourself standing and having this light radiate outward from you, this light of divinity that is within you, like a light bulb, just being turned on full blast and radiating outward. It's breathtaking, it's gorgeous, it's awing. And as you are awed by it, you are also humbled by it. It can bring you to your knees because it cleanses you, it stabilizes you, it lets you see things more profoundly and more openly for yourself. It can lead to tears. It can also lead to a strength you didn't know that you had, but also it's a calmer strength, a quieter strength, a more serene strength. It leads you to facing your fears. There's the silvery light of the moon. It keeps on coming up again and again in my mind's eye. And what is there? There's I believe it is a Chinese saying that the light of the moon is more beautiful than the sun, or it's something to that effect. I cannot remember it entirely. And that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing the sense of the light of the moon being more powerful for you, Libra, than the light of the sun, because the light of the sun brings chaos, and the moon brings a serenity that you need to connect with. This would be also a fantastic time if you have time to meditate, or carving out time to do something meditative. It doesn't have to be meditating. It can be going for a walk. It can be coloring. It can be, it can be reading a book. But it should bring a bit of silence, a bit of mindlessness to you. Just sitting in that mindlessness. It could be knitting, crocheting, something to that effect. Just embracing it. And as you embrace it, you embrace yourself. But here we see you looking at fears, of doubts, of, kind of a way forward that you thought, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this because there are too many variables. There are too many ways that things can be mucked up. There are too many ways that, and I mean, Lord knows that is something that often goes through my mind. It's like, well, I don't know, and I want to know. But there is a release in saying sometimes divinity has a greater plan. And no matter how in tune we are, no matter how, powerful our connection is, there are always going to be aspects of life that throw us for a loop, that are part of our plan and our life purpose, that if we were to know them right off the bat, we would have handled everything differently, and it would change things. And some things are set in stone and aren't meant to be changed. And so here, with the moon, you're facing fears and you're facing doubts, and you're being called to realize that everybody has fears. And so much of our world wants us to think, oh, it's just you. Only you are afraid. Only you have doubts and fears. Everybody else walks around really, really confident. Or you should only fear this way. You should only, be upset about things this way. And it's like, no, I'm allowed to express and take in what is needed for me and what shadows hold me back. But you're seeing that the shadows bring depth to the situation. You're seeing that fear kept our ancestors alive. But in our modern world, it is a very interesting way that we interpret that fear. It isn't fear off of being eaten by a wild animal or picking the wrong berries and dying horrifically like that. It is a fear of social anxiety. It is a fear of, of not fitting in. It is a fear of people laughing at us. It is a fear of, everything falling apart and nothing having greater meaning. It is a fear that isn't fought off, and that can't be learned against. It's like, oh, okay, you just have to know. It's like, well, how do you know? How can you control what others do? And the fact of the matter is you can't. And so there is a certain level of fear that we have to live with every single day. There's a certain level of uncertainty we live with every single day. And there is a beauty in that. There is a beauty in the unknown. There is a beauty in the shadows. And you're going to see that you really connect with that, Libra. You connect with the fact that the shadows bring depth. You connect with the fact that nothing is certain. You connect with the balance that it brings to you and the honesty that it moves you forward in, meaning that everybody makes mistakes and everybody stumbles and everybody doubts and everybody questions. And it's not so different, but it is severely profound. And it leads you to the Hanged Man. It really does leave you seeing things quite differently than everybody else. And as you see things differently than everybody else, you see yourself differently. And it's like, why do I want to conform? Why do I want to belong? And so as you see things differently, you embrace your power, you embrace your understanding more profoundly. And as you do so, you call upon your strength. And you see strength not as brute force strength. You see strength as this beautiful coming together of understanding. You see strength as your determination and your hopes and your dreams and your kindness. And instead of being like the world that says, oh, kindness matters, but I'm going to rip everybody apart, says, no, I'm walking in this kindness, and it really does matter to me. And it is how I am conducting my life. And yes, we veer. We all veer. But this is a profound truth and a powerful pathway for you. This is a Leo energy, again, a time frame of September 23rd to August 22nd. Not September 23rd, July 23rd, there we go, to August 22nd. And this is a power that you are going to be calling upon in September. We're doing the 16th to the 30th. September 23rd, I don't know why. Circle that on your calendar, or just be ready to know that on that day, strength of kindness, knowing that compassion is true strength, and knowing that kind of rising to every battle, every fight is not for you. That's going to be very important. That's going to be something that really is profound. And it leads you to the Lovers. Now, the Lovers is a Gemini energy, May 21st to June 20th. The Lovers is the sense of dual power, of understanding. It's Beauty and the Beast is what is depicted within this card, which is my favorite fairy tale. And here, there is a love, there is a kindness, there is a balance, there is a sense of a seeing what others do not, and a caring that transcends. And that's going to be so important, especially for you here, Libra, because you're going to see your heart transcends, and the balance of what you need and the beauty of what you want moves you forward, and moves you forward in a direction you hadn't thought possible, or you might have given up on. And as you move forward in this direction, and as you embrace this truth, there is a healing, there is a power, there is a beauty to you that really does move you forward. And let's go deeper. Libra, September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. Show me more deeply, show me more deeply, show me more deeply. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels, and spirit guides. That one goes here. Angels and spirit guides. That's so funny. Your heart line picked its own cards, so pretty much. So, know your heart is going, that's saying the heart wants what the heart wants. That's going to be very true for you. Angels and spirit guides. There we go. Oh, and let's see the people you need to be mindful of during this time. Who are the people Libra needs to be mindful of? September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. Who are the people Libra needs to be mindful of? September 16th to the 30th, 2020 Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic, these three. I like it when they're balanced, of being, of aiding and being mindful. But I also like it when the aiding outweighs the mindfulness. So it's always good. Here, you have the Prince of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This is somebody who is a little bit too quick to act. You need to kind of think things through a little bit more. They are going to really speak to a part of you because as an air sign energy, you are going to be able to understand where they're coming from. But there is this sense of kind of understanding them, but also thinking, like, no, that's not right. Like, oh my gosh. So just be mindful of that. They're moving too fast, and they're going to be actually a little bit too aggressive. The Prince of Swords is the Knight of Swords in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and so they're going to be a little bit too aggressive, too sharp. But what's really interesting is that there's an aspect within what they are doing that is the White Knight aspect. Is this, kind of this something that comes in and is like the saving grace. And so there's something that they are saying that is a saving grace. There's like a part of it that you need to listen to, but you need to be mindful because you're going to think that part that is really, really good for you is going to be all of it, yeah. And it's kind of like, no, you just need that one little seed pulled out and not to be caught up in the rest. And then we have the Queen of Cups. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This can be yourself actually being too emotionally committed to things, okay? So just be mindful because Spirit just said that. But this is also somebody who is just too emotional. This is somebody who is more mature, all right? And who isn't seeing things clearly. They're seeing things much more emotionally, much more chaotically, and they need to step out of their emotions and kind of step into their mind just for a bit, and they need to have that connection between the heart and the mind coming forward. And right now, this person is a really sweet person, but it's like life has thrown too much at them, and it has made them they've become too emotional. They've like, their cup is overflowing with emotion, and they're just kind of like, they're overflowing with emotion. So that is something that you can easily want to balance out. You can easily get caught up in, and Spirit is saying just be very mindful of that. And then we have the Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This could, of course, be another Libra, also Gemini and Aquarius. This is the person who comes across very haughty. You might sit there and think, wow, we have nothing in common. Though there is going to be a way that you're drawn to them, but their delivery is a bit off. There is a sense here with this person, be mindful of them because they're really out for what they want, but you're also going to be a little bit too quick to judge this person. So be mindful of that. They are going to be out for their own agenda, but there is going to be a truth to them that you need to hear, and the air is really speaking to them. And that's why they're so caught up in their element of self that they don't see beyond that. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. We have the Three of Swords, heartbreaks, pains, and disappointments. The Tower, being pushed out of your comfort zone, and the Eight of Wands. This is all, well, here it's being told to face heartbreaks and doubts and fears. But this is all movement. This is all, this is a purging. Two of Swords, the world starts to open. Balance comes, Sagittarius energy, a time frame November 22nd to December 21st. And the Queen of Cups. So you have a Queen of Cups you need to be mindful of. You have a Queen of Cups who is blessing you here. This is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is love. This is caring. This is compassion as you balance the waters. Then we have the Seven of Coins. Patience is needed. The Two of Wands, you're looking at a greater future. Here you're making that choice with the Two of Swords. The Page of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You are a student of your passion and of what you desire. The Three of Swords, okay? So you have this vampiric energy and you have the world kind of shouting at you. And then we have the Three of Swords, heartbreaks, pains, and disappointments. You're looking at all the times that you have failed before, all the heartbreaks that have defined you, that have, kind of ripped you apart. And as you're looking at this is saying you have to face them, okay? Instead of keeping them, shut up on a shelf in the back of your subconscious, you have to face what has sometimes been running the show. And as you face it, and as you face these doubts, these fears, these angers, you are going to see that they don't hold the same power they once held over you. And as you see this moves you to the Tower. This moves you to having your hard work pay off. But it also moves you to divinity pushing you out of your comfort zone. And divinity is saying here that there is power that you don't understand. And of course that is true. But there's more out there. It's kind of like if you stay in your comfort zone, if you stay here, you'll never realize it. So there's something here that has pushed you out of the nest. Now, you might say, Dana, I've been living in the Tower for years upon years. That can totally be true. But for others, for some, it's up to 16 years that you've been living a Tower time. And it's been one thing after another, after another, after another. And believe me, I understand that so profoundly, completely. And so here, with the Tower, you are going to see things kind of starting to change. It can also be, Spirit is saying for some people, it started at 16. It started at 16. That things really started to change, and it really hasn't stopped. So just know that you're not wrong for thinking that it's been so hard. But don't let it make you bitter. You're seeing things in a way that never would have come otherwise. And the Tower is change. It is profound and everlasting change. Things cannot be put back together, the way they once were. I like to think of the Tower kind of like Humpty Dumpty. And, I was talking with my brother, and I love what he said when he said, they never said Humpty Dumpty was an egg. He said, and of course, you can't put a person back together again with knights and with kings, because all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. And so here, it's kind of like there's something that you want to fix out of this change, out of this profoundness that has happened. But you're going to think of doing it out of force. And that's not the way to heal it. The way to heal it, the way to heal yourself, the way to move yourself forward from this change is from balance within yourself, is from kindness of compassion, is beauty of soul, and understanding of self. And it's just more than anticipated. And then it's kind of like this change comes at you, and it's like ready or not, here it comes, the Eight of Wands. As you turn inward, there is something that comes forward, and it's like it takes your breath away. It changes the outlook and the determination and what you thought would happen. And with the Two of Swords, you had roads opened up, and you thought, okay, I can go here or I can go there. But with the King and the High Priestess coming forward, you are seeing that new roads open up, that new pathways start to come, and they're more you. You don't have to resign yourself to having to choose. It's like, this is what's right. And it's the temperance, it's the balance of the day and the night, the masculine and the feminine. It is the justice coming in of the world. And it opens you to what you love and to what your soul truly wants. There is no longer a hiding from where you need to be, body, mind, and spirit. And it opens you to a love, to a compassion, to a healing, to a truth. Oh, I love it. With the Queen of Cups right over the Ace of Cups, it's you absolutely taking this gift of healing. Instead of it just simply, permeating every single aspect, it becomes a emotionally deep and profound part of you. And you take this, and it opens up a love. It opens up a healing. It opens up a beauty that is profound. And it leads you to the Seven of Coins. It leads you to a patience as you face fear, but see new opportunities coming your way. And as you look at things profoundly differently than before, you're going to want to rush it, because we always want to rush it. We want to say, it's supposed to happen now. And remember, divinity is saying, listen to me. It happens in my time, not your time. And that is powerful. That is also terribly annoying. And so as it opens up, and as you embrace this patience, you have the repeat of the number 2. There's this creativity, there's this understanding that comes forward, and the Two of Wands shows a pathway that comes. It shows the world opening up to you. It's not feeling so small against the world. It is feeling as if there is a power to you, there's a place that you belong, and it comes from your strength of conviction, your strength of soul and self, your strength of compassion, and it leads you to being a student of your heart, a student of what you desire, a student of what you love, the reasons for getting out of bed in the morning. And as you become a student of this, as you look at things not with preconceived notions, but with a sense of wonderment and allowance for the wonderment to come, you start to see the world differently than before. And you start to see yourself differently. And you're going to find that this is a time where it is easier to learn. It is easier to learn what you desire, what you love, what you want, what you need, what is a part of you. And let's see what your spirit animal message is. Libra, September 16th to the 30th, 2020, Libra. September 16th to the 30th, 2020, Libra. September 16th to the 30th, 2020, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. All right, these two. And the fun thing with the spirit animals is that if you see these animals in real life or an image of these animals, this is your angels and your spirit guides kind of tapping you on the shoulder. This is your spirit animal guide definitely tapping you on the shoulder saying, remember this message. So we have right here, we have the peacock spirit, let it shine. Let your uniqueness, let your heart, let your soul, let your power shine. Because you're breathtaking. And it's time that you realize that. It's time that you embrace that. It leads you then to the cat spirit. Claim your independence. Know your truth. Walk your path. And walk it for you and within your power. Claim your independence. It doesn't have to be, running off and saying, I'm not going to listen to anybody but me. But it's claiming your independence within this world and saying that I don't have to conform. You have the people around you that you love. And it's saying, I have the people around me that I love. Or if you're still searching, I have my angels, I have my spirit guides. Okay? And with that connection and with that beauty and that coming together, there's a power to you that most people never embrace, never understand. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the buffalo spirit. The abundant universe will provide. The abundant universe will provide. And there will be beauty that leads you forward. Grace and power. This leads you to your subconscious people message, which is you. At the soul of you, at your subconscious level, you are embracing yourself fully, honestly, and truthfully. Listen to your subconscious self. Your subconscious chakra message is the inner child, the heart chakra. This is, no matter how wonderful your childhood was, or how not wonderful your childhood was, this is kneeling down. Visualize it. Yourself kneeling down and your arms opened to the child that you once were, to the healing beauty that you need. That sense of, I will always be there for you, and I will always listen to you, and you will always be safe. And that is profound. That is grounding, and that is healing. It moves you to your subconscious tarot message, which is the Page of Coins. Being a student of your prosperity, of the bounty that you need, the seeds to plant, seeing things differently, and seeing your power, your grace, and your understanding differently. You are opened to a myriad of possibilities at this time, and you are embracing them. It leads to your wealth, or what you value as much as money, what is truly important to you, and what will sustain you for the years to come. It then leads you to go deeper into your subconscious message, to the devil. And as you are a student of your prosperity, this is a Capricorn energy, a time frame of December 22nd to January 19th. This calls upon the Pentacles energy, the Queen's energy, because the Earth sign energy, because Capricorn is an Earth sign. And so here you are a student, but you are also a student of your addictions, of your doubts and your fears, and the anxiety that has kept you from where you want to be, where you need to be. Your subconscious is looking at this. Your subconscious is holding two fears, but also at the same time trying to disentangle yourself from them. And there is a beauty that you are embracing because of this. But there is a sense that subconsciously you can feel that you're weaker to temptation than normally. So here, just be mindful. Be mindful. It doesn't have to be what we are addicted to lowers the quality of our existence, our happiness, our joy, our contentment, our power. So this can be, normal addictions, drugs, alcohol, gambling. Those ones are like the hard proven ones. And then there's food and shopping, sex and, everything else that comes to play that they have meanings for. But here it is a sense of freeing yourself from the binds that keep you from living your best life. And subconsciously, you are fighting this battle. And so you might question, why am I tired? Why do I feel overwhelmed? It's because there's so much going on within your subconscious mind that is leading you towards where you need to be, body, mind, and spirit. But it's taking a lot of energy, so you want to take care of yourself, Libra. All right, let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward in grace, love, and healing, as we move forward knowing that our hearts are cleansing us and our worlds are opening. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and harmony, Libra.